What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sports Reality Podcast, the 174th edition. This is your boy, Jeremy John, a.k.a. the fourth greatest Grenadian of all time, a.k.a. the Lil Wayne of podcasts, because I will get on any podcast and hit it with the J Train. Perfect. Let's welcome my co-host, Cousin BigThad. BigThad, what's going on with you?
What's good? I'm all right, man. You know,
I forgot to put your nickname. I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? It's okay.
The gatekeeper of the DMV. Perfect. Yes, the unofficial mayor of Prince George's County.
Perfect. Big facts.
What's good with you, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right. We do have a guest in the building. Let's welcome my good friend, Mike Edwards. What's going on with you?
What's good, family? What's good?
Perfect. Chilling, man. How's life treating you?
Hey, man, I can't complain. You know, got a wife, got kids, got responsibilities, so I'm just trucking.
Mike, this is the second time on the podcast. Last time you were on, it was we were in the height of the pandemic.
Yes.
Stay-at-home order still going on. A lot has changed since then, but a lot is the same, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
When you said the height of the pandemic, I'm sitting here like, yo, we still in the pandemic.
I mean, we still are.
But then I forgot we were on lockdown.
Yeah.
Mike, I've known you now for, man, I think the first time we met was 2005.
Yeah, man. We're inching on a long-term ventureship of friendship.
Yeah, 2005. I met you and your brother on the flag football field at your alma mater. I'm not going to say mine because I didn't graduate from there, but
hey, if you attend, they say as long as you attend, you're an alma mater, whatever institution that you attend. So
hey,
your alma mater as well.
I was there long enough.
Yeah.
But we met on the flag football field, and then we met at the gym. We had a mutual friend, and he invited me to the gym, and I was like, "Oh yeah, aren't you the guy from flag football?" And he was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "All right, well, yeah, I'll start coming here to play ball." Been playing ball ever since until, unfortunately, COVID happened.
a little known fact to the audience as well. Well, we played pickup ball all the time, and the number one pick that I always picked, I never picked whoever was like the dopest athlete in there. I always picked you as my number one player. Perfect. And the reason was because our chemistry was like A1 from day one. So it's a little known fact.
Hey, turn up. See, I told you I was good at basketball.
And they understand our pick and roll backdoor is godly. It was godly out there. The arguments we started with me, you, and Jesse on the helm. It was a lot of fun.
You know, Mike, I've never seen my cousin play basketball. Never.
Yeah,
Never.
Yeah.
I mean, he used to come by the house because we lived right next door to each other. So he used to play basketball on my court, but
right.
I guess because of our age difference, I never really was able to see him play competitive basketball.
No, he's a thinker. So, I played basketball all the way through college, and I like playing with people who know the game. So I could just give him a look. I know that high screen and roll. I drop it down in the pocket, and it's money all day long.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mike.
Glad to hear there's somebody else athletic in our family.
See, you get real disrespectful because you went to DeMatha.
No. Well, hold on. Facts. Hold on. I mean, I've been playing sports all my life up until just after high school, but nobody else in the family really was besides one of our cousins who ran track. That was about it.
So does that make you the 3.5 greatest now that you've got some athletic tenure with that?
I'm still trying to get him. Trying to figure out where he got on this list.
Just start saying that. 3.5. 3.5 greatest. I should definitely do that. The 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5.
There you go. Time. We gotta get an upgrade here.
Yeah, Mike. We're gonna talk about you a little bit more specifically later in the show during our sports free zone.
Okay.
But we got a lot to get into for today's show. NFL Week 4. Tom Brady returns to Foxboro. NBA preseason has officially started. Started with one game last night and many more today. Also going to get into something that wasn't planned and is actually kind of affecting our stream, but it is what it is. Facebook and Instagram are down, so we'll talk about that. And
and WhatsApp.
And WhatsApp. Yes.
Yep. All my Caribbean people are going crazy right now.
Right.
We'll also talk about Ellen Pompeo's comments about Denzel Washington. And we will wrap up the show with a hypothetical NBA 3-on-3 tournament, I guess, among 4 teams. We'll get into that for our Reddit topic of the week. Just want to remind you all to subscribe to the podcast where it is available, and that includes Anchor, Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn. And if you're watching right now, you're probably watching on Facebook or,
Nope.
YouTube, Twitch. Can't say Facebook today.
Nope.
YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. We are live on Twitter also, so definitely check.
Yeah, Twitter's on fire right now.
Yo,
Twitter is on fire.
It is popping. It is the new D Nice right now. It's the new D Nice.
Yo, it cracks me up because like as soon as everything went down, right? I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh yeah, my Facebook's not working. Hold on, let me go to Twitter real quick. And everybody's on that joint. Boom, boom, Facebook's down. Memes galore. I'm like, yo, they just have these memes just waiting?
Yeah, man.
When stuff happens, yo, they do it so quickly, man. It's hilarious.
The internet is undefeated. Don't let the internet get any inkling on you.
Right.
It's a wrap.
Right. That's why when I go out and stuff like that, I don't let nobody record me doing nothing. I don't need it. None.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna just interject real fast. I did the 1 chip challenge with my son. I almost died. I'm glad there's no video witnessing of that because a brother like almost perished this past weekend. So
you know what?
Yeah.
That means, you know what? I'm not trying that because I know you like spicy food, correct?
I do. I live in a Caribbean household, so we get down like that. But
is it just that incredibly hot, or is it the taste of it also?
It is. So they tricked you. So the first 1 chip challenge is like you get a nice chip and it's spicy, but it has flavor. Okay. They was like, nah. The second one, coffin related, comes in a coffin. The smell alone can get you. So I was like, I'm not fazed by that. Took a bite, boom, and it went downhill from there. If it wasn't for the 2% milk that was in my household, a brother would have perished.
Oh man!
Yeah. So my wife was recording at first. I said, "Get rid of it. I don't want nobody." Next thing you know, like photographer dies or is dying of 1 chip challenge. I couldn't have that.
Photographer in the ICU waiting for a bed because right, because of the 1 chip challenge. My goodness,
rough.
My goodness. All right, let's start in the NFL. NFL Week 4 is in the books. Let's recap some of these scores, starting with last Thursday night. The Bengals defeated the Jaguars at the Horn 24-21. We'll get into something dealing with this game, or someone in this game. We'll talk about that. The Jets get their first victory in overtime against the Titans 27-24. The Chiefs defeated the Eagles 42-30. The Cowboys got a win over the Panthers 36-28. The Giants got their first victory 27-21.
That's crazy.
The Browns squeaked out a win in Minnesota versus Kirk Cousins, your boy Kirk Cousins, Thad. That's your boy, right?
That's my boy?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Come on.
That's your boy. I mean, he was with your team. He was your quarterback.
How you like that?
Browns defeated the Vikings 14-7. The Bears defeated the Lions 24-14. Lions are still winless. The Bills, I don't even know if they played a team. They won 40-0. They defeated the Texans. This game, I have no idea what happened in the game because I haven't seen a single thing about it, but the Colts defeated the Dolphins 27-17. I'm not even wasting my time talking about that game. Thad, your Washington football team.
Yeah.
With Taylor Heineke, came back, got the victory 34-30. We'll talk a little more about that game. The Seahawks defeated the 49ers 28-21. Cardinals upset the Rams in LA 37-20. The Packers beat the Steelers.
That's not an upset. That's not an upset.
Is that an upset?
I mean,
we know who the Rams
thought that.
Who's
except you and I on here.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
We both picked the Cardinals.
Yeah. I mean, we know who the Rams quarterback is. So
it's not even that. Kyler is on the next level right now.
Yeah, he's on fire right now. You know what I'm saying? He's not in that sophomore slump or third year slump, whatever he is in right now.
He's beast mode.
You know? The Packers defeated the Steelers 27-17. The Ravens dropped the Broncos 23-7. We'll talk a little bit about that game. And Tom Brady's return to Foxboro. And the Buccaneers won 19-17 after a missed field goal by Nick Folk, 56-yard field goal that he missed, hit the upright late in the fourth quarter. Let's actually start with that. Tom Brady returns to Foxboro to face his former team, the New England Patriots. And he had not only did he win the game, he broke the all-time passing record by passing Drew Brees. He only had to throw, I think, 60 yards or something like that. So, only 60, that's all he needed. For, like, do you think
look, Drew Brees is going to come back inside now. I got to come back inside.
Do you think Brady set that up to make sure that, all right, I'm going to get this in the game, I go back to Foxboro, or it just so happened that,
Nah, I think it was on his mind. I don't think he thought he would go to Foxboro and only needed 60 yards. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he thought he would probably need like 100, 150 by the time he got there. Because he's seen it on the schedule, you know what I'm saying? And he did put up decent numbers the past couple weeks, yardage-wise. So, I mean, I don't think he thought he would only need 60 going into Foxboro.
What do you think about that, Mike?
I mean, he's the GOAT. As much as I despise Tom Brady, I think it was a perfect storyline. You had Drew Brees in attendance. It was in Foxboro, and it was a made for NFL films moment. So,
by far. It's on the documentary.
Exactly. So, I mean, it was a perfect storyline at the end of the day.
Now, the actual game itself, did you think Tom Brady would struggle most of that game, Mike?
I mean, I think with the elements, it was really apparent because he was throwing some dimes, honestly. And the makeshift tight end that they had playing in Gronk's place was dropping everything he was throwing at him. So he performed well under the conditions. So it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, what do you think about that, then?
Well, hold on. Who was the tight end?
Look,
I clearly said makeshift because
Tampa Bay had like 2 or 3 tight ends, decent tight ends before Gronk got there. Are those guys still there?
Yeah, Cameron. I know Cameron Brate played. OJ Howard, is he playing? I don't even know. I just don't even remember seeing him.
Yeah, those were the 2 I was thinking of, and they were decent before Gronk got there. So, okay, maybe they, maybe they haven't been doing any reps.
I'm just like, y'all running basic routes because
did y'all forget to catch a ball?
Tom was putting it on his hands every time, and he was. And the funny thing is, they would cut to Tom's face after every drop pass, and like what he was thinking, like you really trying to kill me right here, bruh. So. Yeah.
And one of those passes, Mike, is the one late to Antonio Brown. And that's it. Antonio Brown should catch that one in the end zone. That would have iced the game. That would have been fitting for Tom Brady's return, but left the door open for the Patriots. Mac Jones, though. Mike, what are your thoughts on Mike Jones? Mac Jones. Excuse me.
You really don't like that dude.
Mike Jones.
Mac Jones. What is your
the kid has a lot of poise. He has a lot of poise. I think once he gets a better sense of pocket awareness, he'll be even a better player. I see why they chose him over Cam or whatever. But I mean, he showed a lot of poise, especially for that moment, for the elements and things of that nature. He made a lot of plays. His receivers didn't help him out a couple of times, and they had 0 running game. So it was just like all in his hands, and he performed.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I know it's only 4 games in his career, but I think this was the best game that he's had so far in the NFL. And he played good enough to win that game. So I got to give him credit when he does do well.
It hurts Jeremy to say that.
I was definitely slandering him last week.
It hurts him. It hurts him to say this about
for him
Jones.
to perform, and the running game in the first half was like -6 yards. I think that was what they said. And for them to be in the game like they were, like they couldn't run the ball, period. Like at all. So it was all on his shoulders. So they knew he was passing, and he stepped up and made some good plays.
Thad, what do you have to say about Mac Jones?
Look, I've been telling you this. Roll Tide. You know what I'm saying? Roll Tide. You know what I'm saying? I like Mac Jones. I've always liked him. It's just one of the things, like, you see how good he can be when everybody else is around him is great. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he played at Alabama, they had the best offensive linemen, best wide receivers, best running backs. So nobody else was on their level really, besides maybe Clemson. But as you see now with Clemson, they're just terrible. But
dig.
But then again, you know what I'm saying? Like they had Youngin in Philly right now. Hurts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now they have this new kid, Bryce Young, who's a freshman, who's killing it right now.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to kind of take the Alabama out of it, the players around them out of it, and then put them in a situation like in New England where you could probably put Alabama against them and it'd be a close game. You know what I'm saying? But he has the poise. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. He's not going to be that crazy. He's not going to put up crazy numbers on all sides of the board like Brady used to do. But he seems like he's going to be a good game manager. He's going to be better than all the quarterbacks they've had that used to come in for Brady.
Yeah.
Besides,
I was
gonna say Jacoby Brissett, but yeah.
He was a good game manager. You can say that. You can say that. You can say, he was a good. He was a good manager for them.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that's it. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be good. I'm not going to say he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback or anything like that, but I think he's going to be good.
I will say this though: he was playing against cornerbacks that were not a list.
Yeah.
They didn't have nobody in the secondary. They had pulling Richard Sherman out of street clothes. And like they was coming out of that break so late. I'm just like, if he was playing a top tier quarterback, would he still be getting off? I mean, I'm gonna give him his credit because he made plays, but the secondary for Tampa Bay was atrocious.
That's their big weakness, and I said the same thing last year. It was like, Kansas City should have beat them, but Tampa Bay's defensive line was just killing them.
Yeah, them linebackers were everywhere too.
And it's like now with everybody's, kind of like every time they hear about the football team, and they're like, "I thought this was the number 1 defense in the league," and I'm like, where did you hear that? You know what I'm saying? It was like everybody behind the defensive line is trash. Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, Tampa is wild because if Tampa didn't have an offense, we wouldn't even be thinking about them for
not at all
the Super Bowl by any means.
Yep. Now, everyone, of course, wanted to see how Tom Brady was received. Obviously, he met with owner Robert Kraft before the game. He met with some of his former players, and then after the game, we get the embrace from Bill Belichick that everyone was waiting for, and everyone said, "Man, that was pretty quick." And really, are they cool with each other? Well, reports come out that they spoke for about 20 minutes after in the locker room, which, in my opinion, I'm kind of like, ain't nothing special about that. These players do that all the time, but it was a big deal. Do you think Belichick, and I'm gonna start with you, Thad, do you think Belichick really even cares that Brady left at this point?
At this point?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he does. The reason why I say this is because he knows how old Tom is. Tom, left and won a Super Bowl, and he's kind of like, damn. But other than that, I mean, he's a system dude. That's what Belichick is. He has the New England way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So Gronk and Brady were no longer part of that New England way. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom, for longest time, didn't take big money. You know what I'm saying? So other players can come and do their thing, which is the New England way. Antonio Brown got paid terribly. That's the New England way. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing now is he's kind of got out of the New England way because they went and spent all this money to get players there, which is totally different from what he had been doing for like the past 10, 15 years. So I don't think he is. I think he's changing his methods a little bit. But, does he miss Tom? I'm sure he does, by far. I mean, that's the best quarterback he's ever had. But I think he sees a lot in Mac. I think he sees a lot in Mac, and he's going to keep going and see what happens.
Yep. Other news in the NFL. Let's start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're winless. They lost a close one last Thursday night. Saturday afternoon, a video surfaced of Urban Meyer in a bar. And a young lady seemed to be twerking on him.
Hey, man.
And actually, I have the video here for us to definitely take a look.
Oh, for real? Let's go. Let's go, Urban.
Urban Meyer. First of all, before we even get to the video, Thad, is there an issue with what happened?
For me? Nah, not at all. Look, my man went back to his restaurant. He went back his restaurant, mind you, with family and friends. They had dinner or whatnot. People came up and wanted to get signatures and take pictures or whatnot. And Urban said himself, I should have left when they wanted me to start dancing with them. Mm-hmm. But I say, you know what? I haven't been here. Let me just stay, enjoy the time with the folks. And then, girl got a little close. You know what I'm saying? I can't be mad at him.
Apparently taken at his restaurant.
Hey. Get it. Hey.
Yeah, I
ain't mad at him.
He was on his off day. It was they have their little mini bye week. And like you say, he was back home, he's with family. Look, I don't see him.
He didn't leave with the team. He stayed.
Yes, he stayed in Ohio.
Yeah, that's it. And plus, that's his restaurant.
It's his restaurant. You have your mini bye week. Yeah. Look, they're 0-4. Something got changed. And let me tell you this week, I'm already telling you, Thad, Jags are going to cover this week. He's going to be well rested. He's going to be, just because he's having a good time. The Jags are going to win this week, or they'll cover. I don't know about winning. I got to look at who they're playing. Mike, though, you see any issue with what happened?
Hey man, this is only a question Thad can answer on this panel because we both are married. So I'm gonna slide that to Thad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got y'all. Y'all could live vicariously through me. You know what I'm saying? I don't see no problem. My man, look, my man wasn't hugged up on her or nothing like that. Shorty was dancing. He was in the stool. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't get to his lap if
I'll tell you this thing. He couldn't have a West Indian wife.
No.
And that come out.
Nope.
Sure, Jeremy knows exactly what I'm saying.
Not happening. Not happening. If it ain't look, if it's not carnival, it ain't happening.
Exactly. No, my wife don't play, man. They machetes run deep in the Jamaican world.
I grew up with them joints at every entry point to my house.
Yeah.
And I knew not to touch them.
Yeah. And they
Now, other news in the NFL: the Baltimore Ravens they defeated the Broncos 23-7, but there is some controversy with the Baltimore Ravens and how they perform, or how the play that they did on the very last play of the game. The Ravens had a long streak, I think 43 consecutive games where they had 100 rushing yards, and they're about 3 rushing yards away from it. They intercepted a Drew Lock pass in the end zone. So, no timeouts left in the game. The assumption was they take the knee. Well, Lamar Jackson runs for 5 yards to make sure he gets the record. Now Vic Fangio, the head coach of the Denver Broncos, is upset. You have people in the media talking about it as poor sportsmanship. Harbaugh said, look, man, the record is meaningful to us. We were this close, so we say we might as well just try and do it. Mike, you've played and you've coached. Do you have any issue with what the Ravens decided to do on that play?
I don't have a problem because they didn't score on the play. Lamar just literally went, did 4 yards, slid, and then kept it moving. Like if it was different, like he threw a bomb and they got a touchdown and, and there's cheering. But for them to get just an additional yard play, I have no problem with that. And basketball, you can't take an extra shot and things of that nature. So it's kind of like a different realm. But if he just got a couple yards, sat down, ended the game, nobody got hurt. There was no cheering. They just went about their business, and that was that.
Thad, what do you have to say about this situation?
Look, I have no problem with it. Like Mike said, they didn't try to score another touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Running up the score. You know what I'm saying? They went and got a couple extra yards. I don't see no problem with it. Maybe Denver's defense should have stopped the run. Just saying.
Or they should have won the game.
Oh, right. Or not thrown that interception prior to that. Yeah.
Right.
Denver, man, they're just big man. That's all it is.
Man, they got their first loss of the year. Teddy Bridgewater goes down with the injury. Unfortunately, Drew Lock has to come in there. Look, man, I know Broncos fans weren't complaining about Teddy Bridgewater. They weren't. Now, I haven't seen anything about that, but the fact that now, they saw what it was like to have Bridgewater and it had to go back to Drew Lock.
Quarterback.
Things ain't looking too good for them.
What is it? They haven't really had because they had Peyton for 2 years, right? In Denver.
4 years, I think.
Was it 4 years? Was he there that long?
Or was it
I thought it was 3.
It might be 3. Might be 3.
Okay. And then after that, there's been nobody.
Yeah. It's been a carousel.
And before that, it was just Elway.
Jay Cutler.
Nah.
Yeah, Cutler had a good run.
Did he have a good run in Denver?
Yeah, I feel like his best years might have as a quarterback. Yeah, he might have better statistical years in Chicago, but I feel like he was just a better quarterback in Denver.
Yeah, he was letting the air out.
Okay.
But no one since John Elway. No one since John Elway. Talking about a quarterback that is injured, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Can't catch a break. Can't catch a break.
Don't have that job no more. That job is done.
Yep. And our boy Trey Lance got into the game. He got into the game. It's his time to shine, man. Thad.
He's a stud.
Because he had about the same amount of yardage as Garoppolo, didn't he? I think he threw for like 156 yards or something.
I would have to look because I did not look at this game.
I didn't either. I think I saw he came in, and I think I looked at the box score. I kind of glanced at the box score, and he had about the same amount of yardage as Garoppolo. It's done for Garoppolo.
Yeah, man.
That's one thing I said with this season. He had to be healthy and make it through. That was the only way that he was going to keep his job, was by being healthy and staying in. I don't think they were going to just, if they were playing terribly, it wouldn't be till the end of the season that they would put in Trey Lance. But with him getting injured again, one, I felt bad for him because that's another injury. But it was inevitable that Trey Lance was going to take over.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. Just go back to New England. Just go back to New England.
Oh, jeez. Let's get to your favorite team, Big Thad, the Washington football team. They were down quite a bit for most of that game.
To the Falcons.
To the Falcons. We're getting torched by Cordarrelle Patterson. How do I know that? Because he's on my fantasy football team.
Hold up. Did you even know he was still playing?
Yeah, I have.
When you picked him up?
I've had him in my starting lineup for the last 3 weeks. He's been balling the last 3 weeks.
When did you pick him up?
I believe I drafted him.
Did you draft him? You did draft him? Wow.
I believe I drafted him. I could double check that real quick.
I would have never drafted him. I would never even thought
I
of his
believe
name.
I drafted him. But
I didn't even think he was still in the league.
The last couple years he's been getting, because he's like a running back also, so he gets you yards.
Right.
You know, he'll get like 6 carries for like 30 yards. So at least you'll get your 5 points right there. And then as soon as he gets a couple receptions, you know,
right.
He got you some points. He got me 48.5 points in our league.
Ridiculous.
Man.
He had 6 rushing attempts for 34 yards, 6 targets, 5 receptions, 79 yards, or sorry, 5 receptions, 82 yards, but he had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And he had return yards, and one of those touchdowns was a 40-yard plus reception.
Ridiculous.
So, but your Washington football team came back. Taylor Heineke with a first of all, let's talk about the pass to Terry McLaurin, which
one?
I mean,
which one? I saw 3 of them, and I'm like, wait, how did this even happen?
Yeah, because Terry McLaurin is just the man. Like, but because it got there, you got to give Taylor Heineke some credit too. The touchdown in the middle of the end zone that allowed you all to decrease the deficit or cut into the deficit. That one was pretty good. The DB, I don't know what he was thinking. I think he just missed the ball. He turned around and just didn't even see the ball go right over him. But
the corner in the end zone one. Yeah.
And then we had the schoolyard play with J.D. McKissick, which, look, he saw him, and he got the pass there. Yeah. And McKissick went one-on-one against, I think it was Jones, and the rest is history. You all win right before, you all win in regulation.
Oh, you're not even going to talk about the Terry McLaurin touchdown where he, like, it looked like the defender was trying to hold him in the back of the end zone, but not push him out of the end zone.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. The first one, the one where I said the DB,
the cornerback wasn't even looking for the ball.
And that's what I said. It just went right over him.
It never even reached past him. It went in front of him.
That's true.
That's why I was like, maybe you're talking about the one in the corner where he just missed that one. He just missed the outstretched arms for that one.
DBs was lunching.
Yeah. But that joint, he like tried to hold him, and Terry was like, "Okay, get out of my way. I see the ball." And they just happened to catch it. But when he threw that, I was like, where are you throwing that to? Somebody's gonna intercept that. Like it was just. I thought it was an interception. Just a straight lob in the end zone. It was like, oh, no problem. Yeah, sure.
Your defense though, Big Thad.
Look, our defensive backs and linebackers. Yeah. Stop talking. Stop trying to put them in the. Okay, you could call them defense 2, or call them defense 2.
Defense, the B team of the defense.
We got the same problem in Philly. We got the same problem.
Everybody outside of that defensive line is trash. I've been telling you that since last season.
You did.
Straight trash. I think you like what was it, a safety that was a rookie or something like that at one point?
Cameron Curl. That's my guy. I like him.
Yeah, I think he might be the best one out of the DBs, but. Yeah,
I don't know about yesterday's game because actually I was paying attention more to the Cowboys game, the flipping back and forth. Yeah. Every time I happened to watch the Washington football team play, it was offense. So I never saw the defense the entire game. I can say this about the Bills game, that whenever Landon Collins is in the game, I mean, it's just like quarterbacks are just having a field day when he's in the game. Cameron Curl for sure should get more playing time, and maybe Landon Collins should play some linebacker here and there.
He should definitely just play linebacker. Don't play safety, just play linebacker.
But your boy Jack Del Rio, aka Maga Rio, he ain't making no changes.
He's not dog. He's not. He's gonna be like last year. He's not gonna make any changes until the middle of the season for some odd reason. I don't know. I don't know how somebody's not telling him that our defense, his schemes are terrible. Like, there's no way our defensive linemen can't do anything because of whatever he has planned. I just don't get it. I don't know.
Yep. Now, there's some other news about the Washington football team. What is that, Big Thad? We kind of mentioned it a little earlier before we started talking.
So the Redskins camp facility got raided by the DEA and the Loudoun County Sheriff's Department.
Take
some investigation with one of the trainers, but it doesn't have to do with the Washington football team themselves. It has to do more with the trainer, whatever he was doing. So, yeah, that's what the story
DEA?
is. Right. Yeah, DEA was involved.
Y'all had the federales come up in that job.
Right. I mean, I first thought it would have been FBI because Quantico's right down the road. So, FBI, sure, no problem. But they say DEA. I'm like, where'd they come from?
That's the Coke bandits. Y'all got something going on up there.
He had something going on. And they're keeping tight-lipped about it. You know what I'm saying? They just said that DEA raided that joint.
Our federales relative even mentioned that they raided. Like, he said that seems a little excessive.
Yeah,
it's coming from 12 in our family.
Look, y'all already know the feds don't play. When they go to do something, it's a raid every single time. It's just a raid. They could be just going to your office to grab some files, and everybody's calling it a raid because they come in full force.
Yep. The Dallas Cowboys, my favorite team, they got a win yesterday. Looked really good. Trayvon Diggs, though, first player since I believe it was Darren Sharper to have 5 interceptions in the first 4 weeks of the NFL season. Trayvon Diggs is also the first Dallas Cowboys player to have that same feat since Chuck Howley in 1968. He is the defensive player of the week after 2, or was he? No, am I confusing last week? Last week he was a defensive player of the week last week after the game against the Eagles. I'll say this: the Cowboys are beating the teams that they should be beating. So I'm not trying to get my hopes too high. I look, the game that they had against the Buccaneers, they made costly mistakes, and it showed in a 2-point loss. But so far, they've beaten the teams that they should be able to beat. They play the Giants coming up this week. I do believe the Giants game is a big game because it is a rivalry in a divisional game, and it's right before the bye. I hope the team isn't really sleeping on the Giants going into the bye. Also, Mike McCarthy made some very questionable decisions in that game. Questionable decisions going for 2-point conversions, declining penalties to allow the Panthers to have life in the game. Also, taking out Randy Gregory, and I understand they're saying he may have injured himself, but I'm also hearing that if it was he could have played through it. It wasn't even that serious. Same thing with Trayvon Diggs. And as soon as we took those guys out, that's when the Panthers went on their run and scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and made the game a lot closer than it needed to be. Mike McCarthy's made some questionable decisions throughout his tenure as the head coach. So I do want to see him do better when it comes to that.
What's up with his clock management?
I was just about to say that. I don't understand. First of all, before we get to Mike McCarthy, as a rival of yours in the division, I have to give Dak his credit. Dak is balling right now. He's doing all the plays, but at times I feel like McCarthy, when it comes down to managing the clock and managing the moments, he tries to make moments bigger than with the players that he has involved in the situation. And I feel like that can be ultimately the demise of you guys, because right now you guys are balanced. You have a running attack, your tight ends are doing what they need to do, your receivers are ridiculous right now, and Dak has total poise in the pocket. I feel like he is their weakest link, McCarthy being the coach at the end of the day, because everybody's pretty much performing on an A1 level right now over in Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shout out!
And that's hard. That's hard coming from me. That's hard. That's hard from I'm a diehard Eagles fan. Y'all know how it feels when it comes to Dallas and the Eagles rivalry. And to see that, I'm happy for Dak though, for him to come out of a gruesome situation and to do well. But I feel like our coach is gonna be our demise.
Mm-hmm.
Chad, you had something to say?
Thank you for Dalton, sir.
Oh, Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, thank you. I picked them up randomly for this week, and thank you. Thank you, sir.
Dalton's been, ever since Jarwin went down with that knee injury last year, he's been playing pretty well. I remember seeing him the first time I saw Dalton Schultz in a Cowboys game was 2018 against the Washington football team. And I was like, who's this guy? And, I mean, he's been getting better every year. So, yeah, man, definitely took Blake Jarwin's playing time. Real quick, just want to get to the our fantasy football league real quick, the GFFFL. Week 4 is not over, but Sherlock Mahomes is 3-0, and he's letting me know this every time he sees me.
Who is that?
That's Marcus. Every
time.
Oh,
it is Marcus. Okay.
He's 3-0.
He changed it from Shark Week.
Yeah. He's changed it from Shark Week to Sherlock Mahomes. Because somehow he swindled CJ to get Mahomes.
Yes,
that
Mike,
bothers me to this day.
Mike, look, he swindled somebody else into giving up Patrick Mahomes
in a keeper league.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Y'all need to excommunicate whoever that.
I told them this season. I said, "Yo, CJ should not be allowed to do any trades this season. I don't care
Not at all.
if all his players go to injured reserve. He should not be allowed to trade."
Do y'all have veto power? Does the league have veto power?
Yeah, we have veto power, but, I'm the commissioner, and I try to let them, still – I try to let them vote on things. Actually, the first one, and not going to be too long, the first trade was egregious, so I just said no. This is not happening. This is not happening. And it involved Mahomes also. I said, nah. And then they made some changes. I'm like, look, if you're going to make this trade, then whatever, man. I can't even stop you from that one. It was a little fairer the second time, but it still was like, why do it? Like, it's a keeper league. Patrick Mahomes, yes, he's a quarterback, but he is the guy. You get a lot of points from the quarterback still, no matter what. And like, for the person you gave him up for, it's just like, whatever. But Sherlock Mahomes is leading, and he's going to win this week because he's winning by 60 points. So he's going to win that week. Your commissioner, Slumlord Commish.
Look, if Marcus doesn't win the championship this year with the team he has, I think he's gonna break it. His heart's gonna hurt. Like, I don't think he was gonna want to play anymore.
And as sibling rivalry, I'm gonna love that all the time. I'm gonna rub it in his face all the time. Like, remember that year you were supposed to win?
Right.
Your commissioner, me. I'm leading. I'm beating your sister actually. 144 to 130, and the final. The score is final because we have no more players to go. But Matt is in second place.
Yeah, that's surprising.
That is surprising because Matt has been doing trust the process for some years in fantasy football. Perfect. He's been stockpiling talent and hoping that it will flourish. He is in second place. The team that is in now, Marcus is 3-0. Matt is 2-1. Mm-hmm. There's about 5 teams that are 2-1. Then another 6 teams that are 1-2. Oh no, everyone else is 1-2. Yeah. So man, it's a logjam right there in our fantasy football league. Let's get to picking the spread or picking the games against the spread. Thad, You are losing by
I know I'm losing.
7 points.
I know.
Last week
we the first time we picked, I was literally picking. I completely forgot we were picking against the spread. I was just picking games, and that didn't work right. That didn't work out too well.
And that gave me a head start. So you definitely have to catch up. Thursday night, Rams at Seahawks. Rams are favored by 2. Thad, who you going with?
Ooh. I don't like how Seattle's been playing.
They did win, but you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Rams.
All right. I'm going to go with the Seahawks here. Mike, who you going with on this one?
Definitely going with the Seahawks, and they're going to be +4. So they're going to kill that spread.
Jets at Falcons. The Jets are favored by 3.5. Mike, who you going with?
What?
I'm gonna go with the Falcons because they're starting to develop some type of chemistry over there. But then again, they might tank. But I'm gonna still go with the Falcons.
What about you, then?
I'm gonna go with Falcons on this one.
All right. Packers at Bengals. The Packers are favored by 3.5. Thad, who are you going with?
Packers 3.5. Packers.
Yeah. All right. I am also going with the Packers. What about you, Thad? Mike.
Yeah, that's an easy cover. I'm with that.
All right. Lions at Vikings. Vikings are favored by 7.5. I am going with the Lions on this one. I do not trust Kirk Cousins. Thad, who you going with?
Lions. Man. 7 though.
7.5.
Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna go Lions.
All right, Mike, who you going with?
I'm going Vikings. Have you seen the Lions secondary?
They're bad too. But
yeah, that's true.
I just don't trust.
They're gonna make Kirk look good. They're gonna make him look good on purpose.
Broncos at Steelers. Steelers are favored by 1.5. I am going to go with the Steelers because I'm not sure about Bridgewater, and it's a little early. I wish we didn't have to make this pick, but hey, we'll know a little more later in the week. But I'm gonna go with the Steelers. What about you, Thad?
Ben's been playing terrible.
Terrible.
I'm going to go with the Steelers, though.
All right, Mike, who you going with?
I'm gonna make that a clean sweep because Ben is due. He's due. If he don't act right now, Pittsburgh gonna call for his head. So
that's true.
Yeah. Dolphins at Buccaneers. Mike, the Buccaneers are favored by 10.5.
Jeez,
that's a big spread.
Wow.
Oof.
I am going to go with the Buccaneers though on this one. Did Tua even, like I said, I didn't even watch the Dolphins game.
It was Jacoby.
Jacoby still played? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers. Thad, what about you?
10 is large, man. Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna go Dolphins. She said. I'm gonna go with Dolphins, yo. I don't see. Yeah, man. I don't see Buccaneers. Where is it? Wait, actually, where's the game?
It's in Tampa.
It's in Tampa.
It's in Florida.
Yeah, that's true. It don't make a difference. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go with Buccaneers with the 10.
Okay, let me change that because I definitely got you there. Mike, who you going with?
You jumped the gun on that one.
I'm gonna go with Miami because the DBs for Tampa are terrible, awful. Yeah, so if Jacoby's a good game manager, we talked about this earlier in the show, and if they just have him typecasted to do certain things, they'll break that spread.
Saints at Washington. Mike, who you going with? The Saints are favored by 1.5.
Ooh.
Almost a pick 'em almost at this point.
It is. It is. I'm gonna go with the Saints because Washington secondary. It's funny because the secondary is really making all my decisions in my picks right now.
It's the key.
Yeah, that secondary, and you let old boy get busy back there, he's gonna hurt y'all. So I'm gonna go with the Saints.
What about you, Mike? Thad.
I'm picking Saints.
All right, going against your team.
Gotcha.
I'm going with the Saints also.
See?
Talking about the Saints real quick. Everyone's trying to give me garbage trade offers for Alvin Kamara. And I feel like because y'all know it's my last year of having Alvin Kamara, y'all can just give me whatever. No. I'll just go to the wheels fall off and just wait until next year.
Maybe you taking the Ben Simmons approach? You taking the Ben Simmons approach, bro?
Eagles at Panthers. The Panthers are favored by 3.5. Thad, who you going with?
Panthers are favorite?
Yes.
Wow.
They must be at home.
I'm going Eagles.
All right. I'm going with the Eagles also. I don't believe in the Panthers. I've been saying that. And yes, they got their first loss against us, but I feel like we were the first decent team to play them. And I feel like the Eagles have enough to beat them. Mike, your Philadelphia Eagles. They going to win this one?
I'm barely going with them right now. I'm barely. Other than Slay, our secondary is boo-boo. So it's a common theme right now. If you got a terrible secondary, you're going to get exposed at the end of the day. So I'm going to go with my Eagles.
Titans at Jaguars. Titans are favored by 4.5. Titans just came off of that huge loss against the Jets. They did not have Anthony Brown and am I saying is it Anthony Brown? AJ Brown, sorry. AJ Brown and Julio Jones. They did not have them against the Jets, and they fell in that game. Not sure about if they will have them this week, but the Titans are favored by 4.5 against the Jaguars. Mike, who you going with?
Oh, yeah. I'm going with the Titans all day.
I told y'all, I'm going with the Jaguars. What's his name? Urban Meyer had some fun times, so I'm going with the Jaguars. Thad, who you going with?
Titans.
All right. Patriots at Texans. Patriots are favored by 9.5.
Ooh.
Thad, who you going with?
Patriots. I'm going to just do it. Go for the Patriots.
Yeah, until the Texans show me something without what's his name? Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, I mean
they're easy lunch. They're easy lunch right now. They school lunch right now.
I'm going with the Patriots now, Mike.
Yep. Right. Just put a tray right there. Whoever's going against the Texans, they getting ate up.
Bears at Raiders. Raiders are favored by 5.5. I am going with the Bears on this one. Mike, who you going with?
I'm going with Bears too. It's trade day.
Yep. What about you, Than? I know you don't like Justin Fields too much.
No, it's not that I don't like it. Well, yeah, you're right. I do like him better than Dwayne Haskins, though. But Chicago's offensive line is just
terrible.
It's straight garbage. So I'm gonna go with Raiders.
But this past week though, they moved the pocket for him and they got success. So you move the pocket for weak offensive line, it's a lot easier than hold them in the pocket.
I'm gonna still go with Raiders.
Browns.
I tried.
I know.
Browns at Chargers. Chargers are favored by 1. Thad, who you going with?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Chargers on this one.
All right, I'm going with the Chargers also. Mike, what about you?
Clean sweep.
All right. Giants at Cowboys. Cowboys by 7. I'm going to go with the Giants. Excuse me. I'm going to go with the Giants.
Wow.
What about you, Mike?
7's a big spread, but it's doable. The way Dak's playing, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
All right. What about you, Thad?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cowboys.
I got more faith in my team than I do. 49ers at Cardinals. The Cardinals are favored by 6.
That should be a higher spread.
I am going to go with the Cardinals on this one. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. What about you, Mike?
I'm definitely going. I'm all Tyler. I'm on the train. I'm on the bus. Tyler all day.
What about you,
Cardinals
all day.
I said Tyler. I said Kyler. My bad.
I understood.
Tyler.
I understood.
I was like, wait a second. Why am I saying that T? It's a K.
Bills at Chiefs Sunday Night Football. Chiefs are favored 2.5. Thad, who's your pick?
2.5.
Yes.
I'm gonna go Bills.
All right. You're going to go with the Bills. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. The Chiefs never cover, but they better cover this one. It's 2.5 at Arrowhead. I'm going with the Chiefs. Mike, who are you going with?
I'm going with the Chiefs as well.
All right. And Monday Night Football, Colts at Ravens, the battle of the old and new Baltimore football teams. Mike, who you go with? Oh, sorry. The Ravens by 7.
Yeah, I still go with Lamar.
All right. I'm going with the Ravens also. What about you, Thad?
Yeah, let's sweep it.
All right. That will wrap it up here for our NFL segment. Let's quickly get to the NBA. NBA preseason. Training camp is starting. Now we have preseason games. But Mike, real quick, I'm going to rewind to what happened last week. You know, we know the whole fiasco with Kyrie Irving and Andrew Wiggins, who, by the way, Andrew Wiggins did he did get his vaccination, and he should be ready to play right away in San Francisco. But
wait. So when did he get the vaccination? Because
according
up to last week, he was like that. Or what, did he get it the whole time and was just talking shit?
No, Kerr said that he got it this past week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sometime since media day last week to yesterday. Sometime in between.
Did they say which one he got? Was it Johnson & Johnson? Was it Pfizer?
Pfizer, was it Moderna?
If they saying he could play right away,
that's the rule in the NBA. You just got to get one vaccination.
You get the first shot. Yeah, you have
to get the first shot.
If you get the first shot, you're quote unquote in.
And that's let me correct myself. Not the NBA, the city of San Francisco. That's their mandate for indoor performers.
Just one shot.
Yes. Kyrie Irving, though, we don't know. And as things go on, look. I've heard people say, look, it's a personal thing. And yes, it is a personal thing. However, we're going to find out at some point when either you're there for the home opener or you're not there for the home opener.
Right. Because if you're there for the home opener, that means you got it.
Yeah. So, but with Kyrie, Mike, if you had a teammate of his caliber, his stature, and ultimately they decided, hey, this is for real for me. This is my stance, and I'm going to miss 41 home games and half of the basically most playoff games because you're going to be probably the number 1 seed. How would you feel as a teammate knowing what's going on what's at stake for the Nets?
It's interesting because the last time I was on your show, we had a similar situation with Kyrie leveling off. But at the end of the day, like when it comes to making the number one thing is chemistry, and you can't establish chemistry if someone is not there, and I know he has a huge rapport with KD and the top tier players, but it's those role players who are going to be like, hey, well, he's not here and I'm busting my butt every practice. That's where you're going to have a level of dissension. And going down the stretch, do you want that type of stink in the air when it comes to getting ready for the playoffs and things of that nature? For me, I feel like if I'm a role player and I'm on that team, I don't feel like he has my back. For the other guys, it's a different situation. They're with them, they're peers, they've won things, they have accolades in the league. But as far as a whole team being on the same page, if you have a teammate like that, you have dissension.
Yeah.
Let's now get to Ben Simmons, and I know this hits close to home. I never actually asked you, but what do you prefer as a 76ers fan? Like, would you like Ben Simmons back?
I have been one of the very few advocates for Ben Simmons. I've been an advocate when he has wanted to be there. I don't understand the stance that he has where he failed himself and then he's upset with the city and the staff for how they responded to him not performing. That's where I have the issue with Ben Simmons. And I'm like, why is your stance so hardened when ultimately if you go in and you put in the work, you can shut the fans of Philadelphia up. We're going to rock with you at some point. So prove everybody wrong. Why do you feel like your stance at the end of the day is to go in a corner and just lose money? And I don't care what profession you're in. When you losing $8 million off the top, and then you're looking at potentially losing $32 million, that's crazy to me. And Rich Paul, shame on him. Shame.
Well, okay. From the reports I read, it seems like Rich Paul in the agency was like, hey, we really want you to be there, but if you don't want to be there, you got to be prepared to sit out the rest of the year. And so I can't even really blame Rich on this one, but he got to ride with them. But yeah, $8 million already gone for Ben Simmons because he did not report by Friday. And and
the Sixers are smooth with it. They just said, we're gonna put this in an account. It's gonna grow. We're gonna actually get money back from your money. We're taking your money. We're going to get back money. We're just going to hold it. The longer you hold out, the more money we're going to make off of you not doing what you're supposed to do. And the crazy thing is, if Rich Paul is your agent, how you get a percentage of that money.
Right.
Why would you allow that to be a strategy of your client when that's your money?
Right.
You need to tell that boy to get back in the camp, work hard, do what you need to do, and move forward. And
I'm surprised he hasn't had LeBron come talk to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I feel like LeBron's gonna be like, I gotta stay away from that.
He stays out of that. He does. He definitely does. There's no lie about that.
It's funny. Something, man, I can't remember, but it was something cryptic I saw, I believe, on LeBron's Twitter page that kind of made it seem like he really wasn't cool with what Ben was doing. But like he didn't really and I maybe I need to find that tweet. I think it was a tweet. I don't think it was Instagram. I believe it was a tweet. And it was something that was just kind of like, in a way, he was kind of like saying, I wasn't really cool with what Ben is doing right now. But yeah, NBA preseason is about to, or it has started.
Just want to say this real quick.
Yep.
Kyrie is losing $381,000 per game. And that's just the home games. Yeah.
That's not counting the cities you can't perform in.
Right. You'll say, what? And see, my thing is, so New York says you have to be vaccinated to play at home. And then San Fran says you have to be vaccinated for your home games. Why don't they just take it out of there that you have to be... Even away players have to be vaccinated to come and play.
See, that's the confusing part.
That's what I'm trying to like. Yo, y'all can fix the problem right there. Because literally, I think they said it was 95% of the players in the NBA is vaccinated. So, how many players are we talking here that is unvaccinated? You know what I'm saying?
Not a lot.
It's not a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, at that point, it's like, yo, Kyrie, you gotta make this decision yourself, pimp. Because that's $700,000 easy.
And this is coming from a guy who talks about establishing generational wealth and different things of that nature. You are going to cost your personal generation $300,000 a game, bro. Man, you better get out of here with your backwards rhetoric and get back to your flat Earth like ASAP. Jeez.
Man, but yeah, man.
There's no way I'm losing $380,000.
I'm not losing $380 a game.
Facts. Bruh.
Put it in my hand, right here.
Shoot, look, when I got my first check from the government, I seen somebody. There was like $100, like I think it was almost $400 was gone. And I'm like, who the fuck is these people?
Who's this FICA person?
Like, and the thing is, they changed it. I thought they changed it from FICA, so that even threw me off there because I'm like, I know about FICA. FICA ain't here. You know what I'm saying? They didn't change it to somebody else this time. I'm like, yo, who are y'all taking? And that's just $400 taken out of my check, and
bruh, and that joint hurt.
Yeah,
I did not enroll into this.
Nah. Oh. Like, why am I paying into Social Security when I know I'm not going to get it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Just give me the money. Just give me I'll figure out something to do with it. You know
Breaking news.
Jeez. Uh-oh. Kyrie's vaccinated.
Oh, I don't know. Facebook is back. Facebook is back up
Stop
and running. WhatsApp is back up and running.
Stop playing.
Instagram is back up and running.
Damn,
so
took them
now,
7 hours? Somebody losing their job. Yo.
Somebody
losing their job.
You know, all the craziness could happen again because, you know, that's where all the crazy stuff happens. All the conspiracy theories, all the misinformation of everything happens on those 3 apps. Oh, man. So, yes, let's now get to our quick hitter segment. Major League Baseball playoffs. Starting, we have the wild card round or the wild card play in game, whatever you want to call it. In the AL, we have the Yankees going up against the Boston Red Sox on Wednesday. Playoff. One game to decide who moves on. This is something I was looking forward to because, man, you know, Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, they're always good. Who do you think is going to win, Thad, that one game playoff? And I believe it's in Boston.
That one game. I want to say the Yankees because it's just one game. If it was a 3-game series, I would definitely say Boston. But one game,
yeah,
I'm gonna say Yankees.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Yankees.
Yeah, I'm going with the Yankees also. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, ace on ace, and the bats in New York right now are burning hot. So I definitely take the Yankees as well.
In the NL. I believe, where's the NL? I'm looking at it right. Might have to pull it up on my computer. I know at one point it was the Dodgers and the Giants were possibly going to be in that game.
It's
the
Cardinals
Dodgers and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
In a 1-game playoff at Dodgers Stadium. So, yeah, man, it's going to be exciting. October baseball is always fun. You have the afternoon games that go on, so there's something to watch, you know, if you're home or working from home or if you're out and about, you can put it on listening to the game. I love playoff baseball for that. There's something to definitely, you know, watch during the day. And then you still got basketball that's about to start.
That's the best baseball is playoff baseball.
Yeah, it's the best. Yeah. Did you hear that call the other day from the Mariners?
Yes.
That gave me chills, man. I was like, yeah, this is what this time of year is all about.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I actually have that call on my phone right here. Yeah, man, that was the Seattle Mariners, excuse me. The Seattle Mariners. And their play-by-play guy for the game, I believe it was all over the weekend. Here it is right now.
Need a base hit. You got JP's going to be flying from second. You got the bases loaded. Bauer's well fouled down the third base line. Biggest pitch of the year here for the Mariners. 3-2, bases loaded. Cishek, the pitch. Base hit left field. Here comes JP. Bauer scores. JP scores. Mitch Haniger. What a night. What a night.
Yeah, man. I remember, man, how it felt as a Nationals fan with that title, man, 2 years ago. Still fresh. And that's how I felt with, hearing that call, hearing the Juan Soto hit in the wild card game against Josh Hader. Man, October baseball is really good. Thad, your Manchester United. What's going on with them?
I have no idea.
I believe they tied
what happened now?
this weekend against
Who?
I forgot who let me look it up, but I forgot who they play. Oh, Everton. They tied against Everton at 1, and then my Manchester City tied with Liverpool 2-2. Very good game. Very good match. There, people are saying one of the best matches in the last couple years. Also, I think your Manchester United football club is second in the standings.
No, we're third. We're third. We're tied with y'all and Everton.
Yes.
Somebody else. Yeah.
Still early.
Yeah, still early. We're all tied at 14 points. Chelsea is in first with 16 points, and Liverpool is in second with 15 points. So it's still early.
Yeah, I'm learning the game more and more, and the EPL is a very good league to learn the game from. Oh man, let's now get to our Champ and Chump of the week. We celebrate those who do well.
Wow, winning.
And criticize those who don't.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt!
It's our Champ.
Let's go, Champ!
And Chump.
Now this guy's a chump.
Of the week. Champ and Chump of the week, where we celebrate those that do well and criticize those who do not. Big Thad, who's your Champ of the week?
My Champ of the week is Urban Meyer.
Baby, wanna shout.
Yeah.
Nothing else to say about that.
There's nothing else to say about that. It's Urban Meyer, baby. Yeah.
I have 2 champs of the week. Got to give it to Zach Wilson.
Okay.
Of the Jets. Getting their first victory of the year. He played really well. Had some clutch passes. That I think it was a 51-yard pass for the touchdown on the run. Man, that was really good. And also Andy Reid. He is the first head coach in the NFL to get 100 wins with 2 different franchises. And he got his 100th win against the Eagles over the weekend. So shout out to him. Mike, you're an Eagles fan. How do you feel about Andy Reid and the rest of his career once he went on to the Kansas City Chiefs?
Eagles fans love Andy Reid. And when the Kansas City won, it was like an extension of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl as well. So he gets nothing but love from the Philly fans. And whenever he comes, it's a lot of love. He got a free cheesesteak and all kind of good stuff when he showed up.
Mike, I didn't even ask you, but who would you say would be the champ of the week?
My champ of the week goes to Joel Embiid. When asked about the Ben Simmons drama, at first he curtailed it, and then he kept it real. He's like, you know what? I feel like it's a little disrespectful that a guy who we allowed to bring up the ball and tailor an offense around him would be upset about working with players who he has to work with. So he felt like a little disrespected. So I was glad that Joel stood up for the team because, we've been taking a lot of backlash, letting this young boy dismiss us, not let us come to California to woo him and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So Joel Embiid, he stepped up as a leader, somebody other than Tobias Harris. So he's my champ of the week.
All right. I like that.
Big Thad, who is your chump of the week?
The Denver Broncos.
Because you're a chump.
Y'all know why. We already said it. Now they just crying. It was 3 yards, yeah. Get over it. Stop crying.
Yep. My chump of the week would have to go to Juju Smith-Schuster.
Because you're a chump.
Dude, what are you doing, man? You're doing nothing for my fantasy team, man. It is personal. It's doing nothing for my fantasy team.
He's
Luckily,
a number 2 wide reciever.
Oh,
he's a number 2.
He might be number 3 on that team. It got me 3. Hold on, let me look that up real quick. I'm here right now.
Are we blaming that on him or on Ben?
No, it's also him, man. 3.1 points And he was on the longest, one reception for like 9 yards for the longest. Got that early game. Didn't get a second reception. He did have 8 targets. So, I mean, I got to go back and look where those 8 targets, was he being, defended quite well, or was it the passes were off? Were they drops? That I don't know. But this has been the ongoing thing for Juju Smith-Schuster. I thought last year was the anomaly. I thought he was going to do better this year. I drafted him, I believe, in the 5th round. I have my app open in the 5th round. Thought, at the 60th pick, I thought things were going to be good. He hasn't really done much.
I never thought he was that good. I think he was only that good because Antonio Brown was on the other side.
I believe that obviously helped, and he was young. He came in the league at 19. He was actually 19 when he came in the league. And I just thought, and he had those first couple of years, I thought he would have definitely taken the next step. Chase Claypool looks like the clear number 1. They are dealing, like what you said, with Ben Roethlisberger as their quarterback. So, but yeah, man, you got to give me more. I'm a fantasy football team. Mike, who's your chump of the week?
It's obvious. Ben Simmons is the chump of the week. He refused to be a professional and receive free money. This is money that he signed for on the dotted line. All he had to do was sign his name to get this money. If you don't want money that is free, where you didn't even have to work, you a chump in my look. I'm out here working hard. I got multiple situations I'm trying to do. I got kids in private school, and you out here refusing $8.5 million. You my chump.
Yo,
and really, you just had to show up.
Just show up.
Didn't we talk about look, Mike? Me and Jeremy talked about it last week, and I brought up the question like, "Yo, what if Ben just shows up but doesn't play? Like just shows up, doesn't play?
They have to pay him. They have to pay him. They have to pay him. All he has to do is be in the facility. If he is in the facility, he is getting paid.
See, that's all I got. I'm good. Thank you.
He's the chump of the month. Chump of the month.
Oh man, I was on Clubhouse, and there were some people that were like, man, well, Ben should be entitled to feeling the way he feels, and the Doc Rivers kind of did him wrong, and Embiid and the city, and if he wants out, he wants out. And there was a former NBA player in the room, and he said, look, man, he still got an obligation to the team. Like, they still, like, you got to show up to work.
You signed the dotted line,
You just can't be like, I'm not showing up.
It's this generation. It's the Drake sensitivity generation where they turn on all of Drake's CDs in a row, and then they get really emotional about you critiquing them. And they don't understand what constructive criticism is. Right. If a coach is asked on Game 7 how he feels about a situation that he's just gone through, and you are one of the catalysts for the reasons why they did not achieve what they were supposed to achieve, how is he supposed to respond? Did he talk badly about you? Did he talk about your mama? None of that. No. So if you as a professional cannot take the constructive aspect of that and be a better player at the end of the day, then you are the issue. And stop it. Right. Great.
All my man said was like, I don't know.
That was literally it. I don't know.
That's it.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know. That's it.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to work through it through the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's now get to our sports free zone. Let's start with you, Mike, though. Mike, what is your occupation? Let the listeners and viewers know, what is your occupation?
I am a professional photographer / videographer now. Out here doing I'm gonna say semi big things out here in the DMV. Getting things done.
Yep. Now when did you start? And what got you what made you interested in photography?
So I would say my start kind of came about as a hardcore hobby. I was working in the mental health field, and once my son, oldest son, was born, and you as a parent, you want to have like a camera situation where, like, if you're in the back of the room and you get, I was tired of fighting with these parents, in the front of the situation. So I was like, you know what, let me invest in some photography know-how. Turned into a hardcore hobby. And then surprisingly, one of my first clients was London Fletcher of the Washington Redskins, who had an organization called London's Bridge, which allowed inner city kids an opportunity to have secondary educational experiences. And I just went with them on different field trips. And one of my gigs that got me kind of out there, we went to the Senate. And a bunch of senators were like, "Oh, well, do you shoot black tie affairs?" I was like, "I do now." And from there, I established a client base, and then the rest is history. And then out of that, Dual Vision Photography was formed. And then this past summer, recently, Dual Vision Productions is now in place. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. Yeah, because when we first met, I know you were in the mental health field. You were a licensed clinician, correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I remember that, and then you got into photography.
Oh man, you got the website up. Okay.
So those are just a teaser of some of the photos and some of the work that Mike Edwards does. It is www.dualvision, vision with a Z instead of an S.
With a Z.
Photography.
With a Z. Yes.
Photography.com. Then make sure you check them out there. Now, you said you started with London Fletcher. That was your first event, and then you mentioned that you also got requested for black tie affairs. For the most part, do you do weddings? Do you do parties? What is the most, I guess, popular event that you are on assignment for?
Hey man, I get down with every situation. I mostly shoot portraiture, but I do weddings, I do events, and I also run another organization which is called Portrait Meet DC, which is an opportunity for creatives here in the DMV to meet and create once a month in a free environment. There's models, photographers, videographers, and it's always community based, each of these meets that we do. And it's a really cool thing. We got about 7,000 people who are following. We get about 200 to 300 people per meet, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to make sure that creatives in this area have an opportunity to create. And it's not always client related. A lot of stressors come from your client experiences, and when you get to rub shoulders with photographers who have different point of views, or videographers, it allows you to just grow as a creative itself. And because of that, I have a live show that happens every Friday around 2:30, where I'm just uplifting the creative community and small businesses as well.
Real quick, expand more on the live show that you have every Friday on YouTube.
Yeah, every Friday I have a show on YouTube called The Dual Exchange, and it's an opportunity for, first, I make sure that I uplift the small businesses here in the DMV. So if you're a small business here in the DMV and you want an opportunity for your business to have a visual, I shoot the visual, I put it on my show, and I allow them to actually have the visual for themselves so they can promote themselves here in the community as well. So we start first with our small business perspective, and then whatever creative I've done, I have a segment called On the Road Again that allows people to see the different areas that I go to here in the city, and just give people a fresh perspective of what's going on within the creative community and what I actually do. So it could be a photo shoot, it could be an event that I'm shooting. You get to see firsthand what it is that I get to experience on my journey.
Yep. I know this is the sports free zone, but I want to go back a little bit into sports. Philly area, born or not born, but raised. Sure.
Yes.
Yep. So with everything happening with Ben Simmons, it seems like it took the heat off of the Eagles, though. The Eagles and the Phillies.
I clearly could have went with Nick Sirianni as being my loser of the week because Nick Sirianni is he's so one-dimensional. Sometimes I feel like I'm watching a high school coach professional athletes, and he's putting a lot of pressure on our quarterback. I really feel like he's not a pass first situation, and to put that pressure on him and not to give, we have Miles Sanders, who is a premier back in this league that is only getting like maybe 6 to 7 touches a game. And that's uncalled for. So yeah, it's rough. It's rough. My Phillies got dismissed. I'm wearing a back, like hold on. I got to let you see my Phillies hat real fast. So I got a upside down P because we got dismissed early in the situation. And, we got the Phillies. Hopefully our Flyers can uplift things and the Sixers can bring some type of joy. But it's been rough as a Philly fan right now.
We always hear from other people about Philly sports fans. What do you have to say? Like, give me the positives of Philly sports fans.
I tell you one thing, if you see another Philly fan in any area, you can get a meal, you can get a housing, you can get a ride. The bond with Philly fans is like no other. And we ride hard for each other. So you can be an Italian over in the south side of Philly or a South Jersey and native. If we all come together, or if we're in a situation outside of Philly, that camaraderie is like no other. Not bandwagon fans. A lot of times you go to cities and you see people who are like bandwagon fans. That doesn't happen in Philly because you'll get exposed quickly. So that's the plus side. The negative is if you're not with us. We're a rowdy bunch. We love hard. There's not many fan bases as passionate as Philly, outside of like say Oakland with the Raiders, or I'd say Dallas. I feel sometimes even Dallas fans sometimes are if y'all not riding hard. I don't see a lot of Dallas people. But Eagles, we can be losing. Y'all still gonna see our regalia.
Dallas fans are just bandwagon.
Yeah.
They're all bandwagon.
There's part truth to that for the most part.
Yeah, man.
Philly cheesesteaks, Mike. Where's the spot to go? So before we get to that, I've been to Jim's. I've been to Pat's. I've been to Geno's. Actually, Thad and I went to Pat's and Geno's.
No.
We went to I've been to the Owls.
When did we go to Pat's and Geno's?
Like more than 10 years ago. Remember we had to go up there for a day?
That's why we went there.
Yeah.
Usually I don't go to Pat's and Geno's.
Yeah. We've been to gyms. I've been to gyms. Actually, I went to gyms with you too, Thad, one year.
With one of our cousins. Yeah.
I've been to the Owl's Nest, which is on the campus of Temple, right next to a funeral home on Broad Street. I've been to Jenna took me to a local spot. I don't even remember the name. The local spot was the best spot.
It's always the local spot. There's always the local spot. There's a spot called Abner's that's near UPenn. Man, cheesesteak will have you slapped in somebody. Like just getting near the actual location is dope. And you have a lot of variations of the cheesesteaks when it comes to like these local spots that you don't see with like gyms. They give you that nice like, hey, welcome to, just like any type of like touristy attraction. They kind of dumb it down and make you choose Cheese Whiz over provolone. And provolone is always going to be the best option. I don't care what nobody says. Yeah. So Abner's over by UPenn. Man, any local spot, just check them out. They'll surprise you.
Yeah. What about? I know. Well, you would know more, but what about Ishkabibbles? Or is it Ishkabibbles?
Ishkabibbles is like is a more local lies type thing, but they've kind of gotten up there with like making sure that tourists get an idea.
That's what I thought. That's why I was asking you. And I noticed that there's multiple locations now. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No, you don't want no chains. You don't want nothing that's a chain. You want something it's a liquor store right here, a cheesesteak spot right here, and like some guys on the corner chilling. Those are the spots you want to go to.
All right. Let's get into some other news. We mentioned that Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp were down. It looks like it's back up and running, and we are live actually on Facebook right now. So at least I know that part is running. This happened today. I didn't know this. Yesterday on 60 Minutes, there was a whistleblower that was interviewed that spoke about the actions of Facebook and their ads and their targeting and marketing within the app. So it's just kind of interesting that happened last night on 60 Minutes. In less than 24 hours, the whole thing went kapoots. So yeah, I just think that's really interesting. And the jokes were flying on Twitter. Just, Black Twitter. I love Black Twitter, man. Perfect. I know Thad, you just found out Black.
I'm still trying to get there.
He's trying to navigate.
I'm just trying to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, it looks like we lost that.
Lost that. But yeah, man, Twitter for sure. It was a fun day on Twitter. Let's quickly though get to Ellen Pompeo and her comments about Denzel Washington. Let's take a listen to this.
You had Denzel come in, right? And he directed.
Oh my God, Patrick. Denzel was amazing because, Denzel's a movie star, right? He doesn't know about directing TV. So
it was 2016. Denzel directed this episode of Grey's, but when Ellen went off script, he just went off.
Denzel went ham on my. He was like, I'm the director. Don't you tell him what to do. And I was like, listen, this is my show. This is my set. Who are you telling? Like, you barely know where the bathroom is. And I have the utmost respect for him. But we went at it.
The star.
Ellen Pompeo.
But we went at it.
See what happens? I get up, I start talking about Black Twitter and I get kicked off.
They say he's not one of us yet.
Right.
He's not one of us.
Kick me right off.
Oh man, I saw the article. It came out Wednesday because the season premiere was Thursday, and I'm reading and I'm like, does she think this is does she think we're going to agree with her? And then I listened to the clip and I'm like, whoa, does she really think we gonna just be like, hey, yeah, you stood up to Denzel Washington on that one? I'm just like, what is wrong with you? Mike, when you heard what happened or heard the comments, the statement, what were you thinking?
The funny thing is she tried to code switch to make it sound like she was down with us, as she was telling the story. I was like, and I was like, wait a minute, why does she have to present her point in a manner like that? She could present it in a way where, we had professional differences. He looked at it and strategized it this way, and I had this, then you're understanding there's two professionals here that are trying to get on the same page to make the scene work. But to try to culture switch and be like, I was like, this is my show, and I can see her trying to kind of roll her neck or whatever, trying to be down. That part, I was like, nah, that's unnecessary.
Wow.
Yeah, man. You know why she does that? Because she's, married to a black man, and I don't know her background per se, but I heard that wherever she lived was predominantly black families. So with that came out, all the different think pieces about Ellen Pompeo. And, before I even get to that, this is Denzel Washington.
He's holy grail to us. He's holy grail.
Right. He's
holy. I will turn all y'all in Pelican Bay. All of y'all.
Right.
Perfect. King Kong ain't got nothing on him. That's the grail right there, man. Right. That's the GOAT. That's our GOAT.
And then for her to be like, you don't even know, this is my set. First of all, it's not your set. You may be Gray or Meredith Grey, but it's not your set. The show looked like it's still about to go on without her. Right. If they really wanted to. Right. If Shonda Rhimes really wanted to, it could. Yeah. But then all the different think pieces that came out of it.
He's the equalizer. Come on. He's the equalizer. Then
if you listen to the rest of the podcast, she even explains how Denzel's wife comes onto the set the next day after the situation, and she tried to play the victim and tried to be like, he yelled at me yesterday, and we're not really talking right now. And I'm like, the caucasity of you to say that. Like, for you to say that. Shout out to the sixth greatest Grenadian, Amanda Seals. But yes, the caucasity to then go to his wife and be like, oh yeah, he yelled at me. I'm just like, what is wrong with you? But the different pieces came out, and then other articles from the past came out and said how what's his name? Y'all remember Isaiah? Is it Isaiah? Isaiah Washington? Is it Isaiah Washington? Yeah. He was on the show. He got dismissed because
he got kicked off.
Comments. Yeah. Well, initially he was cast as her love interest in the show. Basically, Patrick Dempsey's character. I don't even know his name. McDreamy or McSteamy. One of them. I don't watch the show enough to know which one is which. But she said, no, I don't want him to be the my love interest because, that will hit too close to home, because at the time she had a black boyfriend who is now her husband, and try to pretty much say, I don't know how he would feel with me, on television. I'm like, first of all, you're an actress. Like, you're going to have love interests in shows. Like, doesn't matter.
I don't know, man. Some cats, I don't know, man.
No,
some cats.
You're an actress. Like we know.
It can't be Wesley Snipes. It's Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes goes in on them scenes.
Yeah, big facts.
And then, the same Twitter user brought up a panel discussion where it was Viola Davis, Kerry Washington, and Ellen Pompeo, and they asked the question to Viola Davis pretty much, and Shonda Rhimes, how did you all feel when the general public was saying that Viola Davis isn't, aesthetically pleasing to the eye? And they both said, that hit hard, that, people would say that about me and that I'm not a traditional good looking woman. And then Ellen Pompeo had the nerve to say, well, and let me read it verbatim because I have it here. If any good comes out of ignorance, then hold on.
Wait, what?
Sorry. She says, after they say what happened, she says, where is it? I had it right here.
Why are you looking at? Well, you are looking that up. She is on par with Esther Rolle from Good Times, where she's not traditionally a beauty, but you respect what she brings to the scene. You know what I'm saying? Respect. So you need that. Like, and it's not like every actress is supposed to be like stunning or whatever. But Esther Rolle is one of us. But she wasn't diming it. So.
And I lost the actual quote.
You're supposed to pin this stuff.
Yeah, I know. But she pretty much, and I'm paraphrasing, was just like, well, at least we know now, like it's in the air. We can have discussions about things like this. And Viola Davis pretty much was like, yeah, but I'm the one who still got called ugly, pretty much. Like,
right.
We're having a discussion about this, and this is, no, like I'm the one that's being criticized. And then she had her comments about the NAACP awards and HBCUs, where she said we shouldn't have we should get to the point where we don't have NAACP awards. We should have the People Awards. And HBCUs only cause more division than unity. And she said, and my black husband feels that way. That's what she.
Boy,
so yeah, man, it's been a last.
She is treading. She's treading.
Bad last few weeks or few days, excuse me.
So her validation of blackness and speaking on blackness comes from the fact that she has a black husband. Yeah, is pretty much what she's saying.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay. Boy, she better not come out here to the DMV.
My husband feels that way also.
And then she also thought during the 2020 Democratic presidential debates, that Vice President Kamala Harris, and then she was senator, was overconfident during the debates because she was only going at Senator and Vice President Joe Biden. She said, "Oh, she thinks she's so good that." And I actually have this one here. Says that she retweeted a tweet from Bloomberg, and the Bloomberg tweet says, "An emerging trend in this debate: Kamala Harris very clearly only wants to debate Joe Biden. Every time she's been challenged by a low polling candidate, she takes it back to Biden." Ellen Pompeo retweets and says, "Because she's overconfident and believes he is her only competition." And it's just so funny because obviously Biden wins the nomination and chooses her as his vice president. So she thought that Kamala Harris was too overconfident for how she handled that debate. So yeah, man, bad couple days for Ellen Pompeo. Let's get to our final segment of the show, our Reddit topic of the week, where we go on Reddit, we find interesting discussions or topics, and we bring it here to you all. It is a fantasy 3-on-3, I guess, among 4 teams. And I'm going to bring it up here. Let me share it for you all to see. There are 4 different teams, and usually, we get these teams where everyone is from the same team. But this one, there's definitely a twist for this one, and I'm going to share it here for you all. 4 teams. Team A is Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, and Kyrie Irving. Team B is Damian Lillard, Kevin Durant, Nikola Jokic. Team C is Giannis Antetokounmpo, Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler. And Team D is Joel Embiid, LeBron James, Luka Doncic. Mike, when you see that, which team are you going with? Who are you picking as your team when it comes to 3-on-3?
I'll rank them. I'll go Team D, then Team B, then Team C, then Team A. But I would go with Team D.
Team D as your number one. Number one. Now, what's your, I guess, logic for that? I want to hear what you got to say.
Because they'll make up for Luka's lack of defense, and they would pretty much overpower every matchup on the board. Yeah, all across the board. They would dominate. You can go in the paint to Joel. Joel will cook Jokic. Surprisingly, Joel is a good perimeter player. Their only liability is Luka. Luka is not a good defender at all. But he's going to pose a matchup on the other side because he's going to dominate Dame and or Kyrie and or Steph, which are the PG options here. So I think they're most versatile when it comes to the end of the day.
BigThad, who's the team you're choosing?
I was going to say Team B, but after listening to Mike, I'm going with Team D there. And I mean, I do like his order also, Team D, and then B, then C and A. Yeah, I do like that. I like that also.
Team A, unfortunately, because of just like personalities, like they're last. Like
they're terrible.
It's not gonna work. Like, whoever and they probably put it like that on purpose.
You don't even know if Kyrie. You don't even know if Kyrie's gonna show up.
Right.
AD and Kawhi with the injuries. You know,
you got Kawhi with his laugh. You know what I'm saying? He's just weird altogether. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I think the best competition. You know what? I'm going to say that the best competition is going to be B for Team D. Because Team C, even though they have Giannis, they still get dominated by all 3 on Team D.
Yeah.
They'll just manhandle them.
Yeah, man. Team D, yeah, that's actually the one that I was going to choose. Also, you have LeBron, who's going into year 19. Like, perfect. Like, my goodness, going into year 19, still playing at the level that he's playing. Luka Doncic. who is the young star in the league, and Joel Embiid, who is the best big man on this list. Yes, Jokic won the MVP, and well-deservedly last season. He was basically the one star who played well all year and was healthy all year.
He was healthy all year. We'll go with that.
Yeah. So that's why he deserved at least the MVP for last year. But a lot of people, and this was a topic of discussion on Clubhouse, people equate MVP as best player in the league, and it's like, no, there's been plenty of times the best player of the league in the league did not win the MVP. But anyways, so we mentioned this.
How many times LeBron gets shafted?
Exactly.
MVP?
Yeah,
and Shaquille O'Neal, aka the Steve Nash years.
Kobe.
Oh yeah.
Even Jordan. Let's Jordan, Magic. A couple of those years in the '80s where Bird got it. You could say,
Karl Malone should never have an MVP.
Talk about Karl Malone
in the Jordan era. No.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mike, are you a Karl Malone fan? Like, are you a fan of his? Because I know nowadays people try to distance themselves from him. Are you a fan of Karl Malone?
I am not a fan of Karl. Let's be. His body of work is good, but his body of work was a two-man affair. If he didn't have John Stockton, he would not have the stats that he played a great pick and roll offense with Sloan. You put him by himself to navigate a team without a able-bodied point guard, he would not have the statistics that he had. And people never looked at that. John Stockton was the leading assist guy. Every year he had these high statistic years. And the year that he won the MVP, John Stockton was first in assists and I believe like top 3 in steals. So I'm like, come on now. In the Jordan era, he should have never won an MVP. That's just my.
Now, I mentioned this is 3-on-3. Let's throw a little wrench into this. Let's say this is the teams or the big 3 of the teams, but now we're going 5-on-5, and now you have 2 pretty much average NBA players to fill out the starting lineup. Mm-hmm. Are you still choosing Team D, Mike?
Absolutely. You just need like a person to space the floor with Team D. Just a tad. You don't even need that's
all you need.
You get a corner popper. They are a problem.
Yeah.
And I think 2 more players makes Team B like a little bit worse. And I only say that because Dame is going to start taking shots he shouldn't take.
Yeah.
You feel the same way, Thad?
Yeah, with Team D, definitely. You already know what's going to happen with a LeBron team. You're going to have 2 other players that are going to be on the outside, just waiting for a pass, just waiting for it to come.
This is your job. Yeah. This is your job.
That's all you have to do. All you have to do. You're going to be open. Just make the shot.
Don't even put the ball on the ground.
Right. Just catch and shoot. And shoot.
Real quick before we end this show, the NBA with their top 75 greatest NBA players of all time. Thad and I have been working on the list, and I text Thad this week, and I said, look, I think we're going to have to, or at least my part of the list. I was like, I need more time because
I'm gonna need more time.
I need to make some more changes. I need to do some more research. I
just need more time. I don't even know what your reasoning was, but I need more time because I haven't even started. So.
Well, I know that for you. For me, it's like, oh, geez, I didn't even factor this into it. Let me let me do this. So yeah, but Mike, it's still not clear. Mm-hmm. What's going to happen now? When the NBA reached their, I believe it was their 25th year, they had a top 25. They got the 35. They had a 35. Mm-hmm. There were some people from 25 that weren't on 35. The same thing when it got to 50th. There were some people on the 35th team that weren't on the greatest 50th or the 50 team. Do you think some guys from the greatest 50 team will be left off of the greatest 75 team?
Not a lot, because when it comes to top tier players past the 50th, because you still had like players who were active that were involved with that. So I mean, and that was what the 50 was not. It wasn't that too long. It wasn't that long ago. It was like I graduated from high school. So from there, you've only had like I say 20 superstars that are just like Hall of Famers. You know, so you're talking about Kobe, you're talking about AI, you talk about I think David Robinson was already on the list. So you have Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq was already on the list too. Yeah.
That's right. So you have Tim Duncan. I think you're gonna have to start adding international people like Nowitzki and maybe possibly Ginobili, or who has a case. Page. You know, exactly. Page is not gonna make the list. He's not gonna make the list because he ain't got no rings. He ain't got no rings.
But you know what? Is Kukoc going to be on there?
No,
I don't think he is.
No.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
No. We're talking about superstars who were wearing the jacket. So it's I think the people who are in the top 50 are cemented, and you have to pick from, and I can only see like 20 additional guys on that list, and just throw in some 5. Like Chris Webber is probably make 75th or 76th. So
it gets tough for Chris Webber though. It gets tough because
that resume.
Because Dominique Wilkins was not on the 50th. I believe they'll correct that and put him on.
They'll correct 75th. That. Yeah.
So that's one. You mentioned obviously Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant. Shaq was already on the list. I don't know if Robinson was on the list though. I don't know. Maybe check that for me.
He was.
Yeah,
Duncan wasn't on the list yet.
So
Nor was Nowitzki.
Obviously, Nowitzki, Garnett,
Dwayne Wade,
LeBron
James.
I think Harden will get there. I think KD will be on it. I think
Harden. Okay.
Yeah, I
so
think
this
Harden
is where
will
it gets
make
good.
it.
This is where it gets
KD's a
good.
lock. I don't know why I said I think KD's a lock. Steph is a lock.
Steph is a lock.
You mentioned Dwayne Wade as a lock.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chris Paul is a lock.
Chris Paul, I would agree.
And I wish I had counted this from the beginning. So I wasn't paying attention to how many people I added.
The real question is
I think Russell Westbrook will get in.
No. Oh wait, triple doubles. Yeah.
Okay.
Triple doubles save him. Triple doubles might get him in that 75th
and an
slot.
MVP.
And MVP, yeah. That might do it for him. But when you look at it, it's like that generation that we love. We have about 10, 12. Okay. And then this current generation, what we have, 15, 16. There's still room there.
Yeah.
Do you think Luka Doncic will be on this list?
Not yet.
After
for right now,
3 years.
Not yet. No. You have to have, I would say, at least 5 years under your resume and a ring. You have to have at least 5 years and a ring, and in an exception of, say, of Russell Westbrook, an MVP, and a major record. So those are the things you have to look into consideration.
We were on Clubhouse this past weekend, and we kind of said, okay, let's try and figure out some of these guys will get in. We said, let's look at the MVPs from 97 on. And, you have your Duncans, you have Duncan, Kobe, Shaq. Well, Shaq is already on the list. Allen Iverson, you have LeBron, who's an MVP. You have Dirk, who's an MVP. Kevin Garnett, who's an MVP.
KG definitely gets in.
Yeah, the only MVP that we kind of said, unfortunately, won't get in is Derrick Rose due to injury.
Yeah, he might not make it. Paul Pierce doesn't get in. And he has a ring.
Yeah. Is Draymond getting in?
No.
Thank you. No. Thank you.
No. Just like Robert Horry isn't getting nothing. No. Just because you got a plethora of rings don't mean that
Big
you
shot
are.
Bob.
Yeah, and he's.
Yeah, man. So they, the funny thing though,
I hate Draymond.
We know.
I hate Draymond.
This is my contention with Draymond. Real fast, not to interrupt you, Jerm.
No,
he talks like he is a top 10 player in the league.
Thank you.
Perfect.
And he's not. Like I don't understand how he's allowed the freedom to talk to superstars in the manner that he does, and he doesn't have a resume to back up all of those things. Like the way he disrespected like Paul Pierce, it was funny. Don't get me wrong. The way he disrespected Paul Pierce, he's like, they ain't got no love for you, ain't no tour for you. But he like. Somebody should have checked him. Like, yo, your resume, like old school 80s, like early 90s players, they wouldn't let that happen. He'd have came in the arena and they would have busted him.
Oh, yeah,
so,
for sure.
I just feel like his mouth ain't as big as his resume.
I believe the problem is we're in this newer era where the people younger than me, because I'm the youngest one here, are kind of like, hey, well, he got rings, got 3 rings, got defensive player of the year a few times, like he got to be good. And then they look at someone like Charles Barkley and they're like, well, and then talking about Draymond, how he disrespected Charles. I'm like, yeah, Charles ain't in the club of rings. And I'm like, yeah, but you shouldn't be saying that to Charles.
Yeah, he cannot run a team. He cannot. The thing about Charles that made Charles unique, he took on a Sixers team where its superstars were aging. He took it over and he held the team and put them in the playoffs. Yeah, we were in the Jordan era, so Michael was busting everybody. Right. He left the Sixers, went to Phoenix, and immediately made them a contender. And they weren't a contender. People don't understand that. Like, he carried a Phoenix team that at the time they had KJ, they had Dan Marley, but they were underperforming. They were like, they were at the cusp of things. So you put Barkley on there and he held a team. You can't send Draymond to a fledgling team and he even make them a playoff team. You saw what he did when both the brothers was out, Splash Brothers was out. Who was Golden State?
Triple singles.
Exactly.
Triple singles.
He was doing triple copper out there. Yo, he's trash.
Wow.
So that's my contention with yo.
Real quick, do you think Yao Ming gets in?
Yeah.
Okay. I think he'll get in because of the, him being the first international player, I believe, to be drafted number 1 overall. I don't believe we had another international before him.
Made the All-Star team like every year because China was voting like no other.
Yep, facts. All the time.
And the impact of the game, obviously, with China, I believe he'll get in because of that.
And he wasn't terrible either.
No, he wasn't
bad.
He had bad feet. He would be. He was giving Shaq problems. Like let's be real. He was giving Shaq to work.
Man, I'm just still impressed that when you think about it, LeBron James and Carmelo are going into year 19.
Impressive. And have you seen like LeBron's physique? No H. But brothers out here just like brolic, yo. And I'm like, yo, there's guys who don't even put that type of effort in themselves year 1. And this dude is ridiculous. Even his hair is growing back. This is crazy. Like crazy.
Oh man. Well, Mike, it's been a pleasure having you on the show here, man.
Hey,
time has flown by. Didn't even feel this long. We want to thank you for coming on the podcast. Before we go, though, let everyone know where they can find you and where they can find the business.
Yeah, you guys can find me each and every Friday at 2:30 on YouTube. My channel is The Dual Exchange. Go ahead and like and subscribe and look at some content. And if you're creative here in the DMV area and you're looking for a platform to create here in the DMV, just holler at me. I have so many different things that are available for the creatives here in the DMV. You can find me on the web at dualvision.com. And you can find me on Instagram at dual.vision.photos. And I'm always here for something.
Hey, we greatly appreciate you coming on this week's episode. Big Thad, I want to thank you for everything that you do. Shout out to OSS 980. I should be on there tomorrow, making another appearance tomorrow to make my picks in their NFL picks this season.
Hold on, can I say something? I am so proud of my village. We are young men out here doing it, and to see my guys who come from my school, CUC, and see Jeremy and Laws and my man Thad doing their thing. It's a joy for me as being the OG somewhat, that we're out here and we're doing something in a positive way, and it's something tangible for the community to see. So I have to give you guys a big shout out. I'm very proud of you guys, and I'll always uplift you guys.
Hey, man, greatly appreciate it, man. Greatly appreciate it. Shout out to OSS 980. Shout out to Shut Your Face with Bernard, Neil, and Some. Shout out to Curls and Sports. Karita Parks, I got to get her back on here. Especially with the start of the NBA season. That is her lane, especially with the Washington Wizards. She is well in the know with them. Thank you once again, Mike. Thank you, Big Thad, for everything that you do.
Yes, sir.
Until next time, everyone, Sports Reality. Peace.
Peace.